from London, Canada, and the USA.
Boom! You know what I'm saying? Skinny Fabulous representing for HCF Radio, the number one choice for soca and world music. 24/7 hours of music.
www.hcfradio.com, the one choice for soca, reggae, and world music.
All right, then you already know what time it is, everybody. It's your girl, El Styles, and it's Thursday, and it's a ladies' night. I'm here in the studio with my girl.
Yes,
live
in the studio.
Live in the studio. And it's Thursday, and you know how we do. Thursday night, we keep it real, we keep it raunchy, we keep it crazy, sexy, cool, and of course, a little rude because this is ladies' night. Ladies, let's go ahead and sound off. Rita Reed, where you at?
I'm here with the building. How you like?
Amber Lee, where you at?
Good night, everybody. It's Amber Lee.
Lady of the night, DJ Just Me, where you at?
What's up? You know I'm right here.
All right, and as I said, it's El Styles. You know I'm the Tuesday Drop Zone Diva, bringing it to you live on HCFradio.com. For those of you who don't know, every Thursday we go in just like this. Tonight the topic is just as hot. We're touching on something I'm a little sensitive about.
You salty or not?
Amber Lee, I can see your stares from over here. Tonight, for those of you who didn't check out our Facebook to see what the topic is, we're going in on the light skin, dark skin issue. We're having the color conversation, ladies. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, just like last week, we talked about image, and this week we're going in on a different perspective. The team HCF Radio's Ladies Night is I think all shades of brown in here. We have dark skin, we have brown skin, we have bright.
We got a variety.
It's okay, Amber.
Whatever.
I'm just teasing.
I'll rep for that spectrum. That side of the spectrum. All right.
Oh, we're just teasing. All shades of brown are beautiful. But tonight, we're going to touch on every element of that because it's a topic that everybody has an opinion on, but some people are just a little afraid to talk about it. Like, it's hurt people's feelings. But we're going to keep it real tonight. Right, ladies?
Of course. Yes.
Listen.
Now, we can come at this topic from so many different angles, but first and foremost, I want to start, since we're all different shades, I want to start with each of you telling us basically what have you noticed, what is the top thing that you've had to deal with as far as your shade of brown? I mean, our experiences are all different. Just fine, Amber, you can start. She's been waiting. She just owned the mic. Just already on the mic. Go ahead, Amber.
All right, everybody listening out there, let me tell you what I deal with being bright.
Yellow.
Bright. Red.
Yellow.
Hold on. Y'all attacking me already. Hold on, listen.
Light bright.
Shoots. Anyway, I get the stereotype that light-skinned girls are conceited.
Well.
I can't do this. I can't do this tonight.
Syndrome. You got the light skin syndrome.
Look, being a light-skinned girl, I'm not conceited. Y'all know me. I'm not conceited. I'm just confident and aware.
Aware of what exactly? Aware of what?
Well, we are all beautiful, and I'm aware of my beauty.
She confident?
It's called confidence, not conceited.
Okay. So the stereotype that you have to fight all the time is that you are the cocky yellow bone, which we have to acknowledge. Yes, that one is out there. That is a rumor.
Yeah.
I've heard men say that all the time. Like, oh, I don't know, because she light skinned. You know, she gonna be all uppity. She gonna be all bougie, or you can't just come at her.
Right.
She ain't gonna want to go down to the sandwich shop.
I like Subway.
Okay, Rita Ree. Okay, I can see Rita Ree goes probably like one shade over to the right. So, being of, I guess, milky. We'll say a milky brown.
Milky.
A little bit darker. It might be a little bit of a different experience for you. So, what is your experience, honey?
To tell you the truth, I don't really feel like I go through much being, dark skinned.
Really? No stereotype?
Really? Not necessarily. No one has ever told me anything. In other words, like I never felt the way about it.
I actually love that you said that, but I'm surprised that you said that because I know what we hear the most about is the stigma that comes with being a brown skinned girl. Because I can name up a ton of things that are out there that I hear about. Like you, I've actually had a lot of positive experiences, but I think, there's a lot of things that actually play into that.
I guess personality would be a big thing.
Yeah.
I do.
And your surroundings.
Notice, your surroundings and the people you're around. I do notice that sometimes it tends to be that when I'm around maybe a light-skinned girl or guy or whatever, that person would kind of be. Other people would favor them a little bit more, I would say, just off of looks, just off of color. But then again, I can't really say that because it just depends on the personality of the person. So.
Okay. Now, I definitely want to take a moment real quick before we move on to our next girl. I want to remind everybody, you are live in the mix.
www.hcfradio.com.
Thank you, Amber, because apparently I want to be a wrestler. And we do encourage you to jump onto the chat room. We are waiting to read off all of your opinions. We're going to be tuning in and checking in on that every few minutes. So please be verbal. Let us know how you're feeling. Let us know. We're not taking calls tonight, but we're definitely looking for your opinion. So let's go ahead and move on to the next girl. DJ Just Me.
Yes.
Hold down for the brown skin with me.
Yes.
And chocolate. Okay.
Vanilla.
Okay.
Vanilla.
Just Me, what is you in your experience? Have you had any negative ones? Has it been a positive one? I mean, what is are you fighting any stigmas?
Me personally, no, I haven't really been through the whole. At least I don't think I have, and I probably know it. I probably have, and just haven't really realized it. But I don't let it get to me. I mean, I've heard of you're cute for a dark skinned person. I've heard of that, but I don't take offense to it.
That kills me. I hate that. Oh my God.
When you think about it, it's like, what you mean? But
Exactly.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah. Now, I can't say that as an adult that I've experienced it much. I am chocolate and so proud. But what you gonna say, Amber? What you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, good for you. Good for you.
See, lights
Sound
mad
real
right
bitter.
now.
Because y'all started attacking me. Okay, I don't think that's right. I'm the only light-skinned one in this room, all right? Okay. But you know what? I light it up. That's all right.
You light
up the room.
We here to blow you up.
I'm going to go ahead and continue to be the shadow over your life. No, but for me personally, I haven't really had much negative experiences. When I think back, of course, because hindsight is 2020, I can probably pick out a couple moments where I was like, did that just happen? But I have to say, honestly, for me, because of the way I grew up, I don't know if it's just because of my environment or I don't know if it was naivety, but I remember it being more of a I'm just the only black girl thing, much than, instead of it being, because I'm a dark-skinned girl. Now, I definitely have heard the line, like what Just Me just said, oh, you're so pretty for a dark-skinned girl. Really? That's what you're going to say? Really? For a brown-skinned girl? Thank you. I mean, do you thank someone after someone says that? Like, what do you say?
Excuse me, what do you mean by that? Most of the time, I haven't personally heard that said to me, but I mean, if I was to
Because you're not dark skinned.
Like I said, you're one step to the left from Amber, but go ahead, boo.
I am not even that close.
Hold on.
Yes, you are. Don't deny.
I am not.
I'm just saying, if we were in a dark room, they'd probably they're gonna see Amber. They find you, and they might find me. And
Okay, maybe you're chocolate compared to Amber, but compared to me.
I'm just saying.
There we go again.
Oh, Lord.
I'm gonna be taking the hits all
Like,
night.
they'll put Amber in the house, put Rita Ree on the porch, and we out in the field just
Right?
Well, it's cool in the house, all right? It's cool.
That's how stuff gets started.
See, that's how it started right there. I think that's where this all came from.
Right?
that word right there. But when it comes to the issues, we run into the issues in so many different places. And one thing that someone brought up to me today as I was doing research for the show is that we mentioned it a little bit earlier when I mentioned that it is the environment plays a major role. And I don't think we pay enough attention to that. I think the reason why a lot of our experiences have been different is because we were raised in all different places, different sides of the country, different types of neighborhoods, and it most definitely plays into it. Now, I can speak from my personal experience. The most negative thing that I've actually experienced when it comes to color, it wasn't in my dating experience, surprisingly. and it wasn't in school. For me, it was in family.
Oh, really?
Yeah, which a lot of people don't realize we are Caribbean, and yes, it's an issue here in the country, in America, but it is most definitely, there's color issues on the islands that we're still working through. But for me personally, my father is my skin tone. He's brown skinned, but his mother is very, very fair. I mean, his mother makes Amber look like dark. Okay.
What?
Yes. And she came from, she's from Jamaica, and she came from an aristocratic family. So, of course, there's some mixed lines in there, and she was very fair-skinned. And they were not very fond of dark skin. Now, she slipped up and decided she actually, I shouldn't say slipped up because she made a wonderful man, my father, but my father's father was darker skinned. He was successful in his own right. He's a political man and everything, but he was darker shades. And she caught some heat for that from her family. It wasn't exactly something that was appreciated. And I did notice that I grew up with issues in my family on that side, just as far as my relationship with my grandmother and my relationship with my grandmother and the rest of my brown-skinned family.
Wow.
There was love there, but you always knew about it. So it was kind of, there was not much tension, but it was always something, the elephant in the room. Right. You knew it was there.
A big one.
But it wasn't something that we ever really held against, only because, it does come from your environment. She was raised in a particular way. So it's kind of just, grandma. Yeah. Just grandma being grandma. Like, I remember the first time it became really obvious to me is she hated Oprah so bad. And she had no reason to really. And it was really... The way I remember having an experience with her where she was talking about it, and God rest her soul, my grandmother loved her, but this was so funny. Oprah came on the television, and the way she described her was she didn't just say, she didn't like it. She was like, she's so black. Not black as in BLACK. She said black. Cute with a BLAQUE, black. And it was very clear where it came from, but you also have to remember she was coming from a different era, a different culture, a different perspective. And, it's going to it does rub off on you. Of course, we all grow and we become adults and we all have our own perspective and we all have our own opinions, but you could definitely tell she came from a different situation, especially because, looking directly at her son is a brown-skinned man. He has brown-skinned children, and his wife is chocolate as well.
So, why do you think, there's all this stereotypes amongst family as opposed to friends and, maybe coworkers and things like that? Why do you think the family ties are, more harsh when it comes to,
I think it cuts deeper because when it's family,
if you can't help your color, you can't help.
Exactly. I mean, we can say that about anybody looking at us, really. You can't help it, right? So... I think it cuts deeper when you know that that's an issue, because if anywhere where it's really not supposed to matter, it's in family. So for me, that's where I experienced it the most. In growing up and dating and everything, and even dating now, I've been lucky enough to where I'd never really had the experience, being treated lesser than or looked at lesser than because I was chocolate versus, a little light bright over here, Amber. I never had to experience that, but that's me though.
My oxtail in peace, man.
Because it was like, shout out to wherever Emily got this oxtail from, because she's going right now.
Wherever Island Spice, girl.
All right. And for those of you just tuning in, you are listening to www.hcfradio.com Ladies Night Thursday. Please chime into the chat room, because we are definitely getting into this topic. It is the color lines, ladies and gentlemen. There is this feud that's going on and all this controversy that has to do with color. Yes, it's 2015, but we are not over it, apparently, and it's really sad. And that's what I want to touch on as well. I'd like to touch on the fact that it seems like there's this battle. I mean, do y'all know what I'm talking about?
Team light skin, team dark skin. Why are we teams?
What do you think is feeding it? I mean, I always blame men, but that's just me. That was my answer last week. That was my answer the week before, and it's just men. I don't know. What do you think? Why do you think there's such a rift? Because sometimes I really do feel like when they say team, they mean it. Like team brown skin girls stick together, light skin girls stick together. Even when you look at the sororities, deltas tend to be brown skin, AKAs tend to be light skin. Let's just keep it real. They can say whatever, but I see it.
I don't want to point any fingers. However, I feel like, I guess, team dark skin, I feel like as part of me being a light skinned person, I feel like I always get attacked. Not like, what? Yes, I do. I get attacked all the time. Like I said, I'm conceited or I get dirty looks because the guy wanted to talk to me instead of you. I'm sorry, that doesn't mean it was because of my skin color.
But sometimes it is, though.
Yeah, sometimes it is that guy.
It is.
Yeah.
But that's not my fault.
And I'm just saying, the club is not even fair ground because it's dark. So you go see her before you see me.
Oh, goodness. I can't help that. I can't help it.
No, that's true. That's true. It's none of our fault. I mean, really.
And then also, if you look at it on Instagram and stuff like that with the light-skinned, dark-skinned guys,
yeah.
they always make the dark-skinned singing Drake or something like that. Or I mean, the light-skinned singing Drake, yeah. And then, you know, they always try to make it seem like the light-skinned dude is soft.
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
Why do they do that? They got some hard light-skinned men out there.
Do they?
They do.
Hard as in. I'm
just
saying.
Chris Brown.
Chris Brown is not
Wait,
hard.
first of all, according to the Drop Zone Tune In on Tuesday, I just reported on Chris Brown running scared when them shots started popping off.
Well, I'm sorry. I would run away too.
Yeah, but I heard he had to be carried off the stage because he was shook. But that's another thing.
Stop it.
He was shook. No, they do. There is a stigma about light-skinned brothers being a little bit soft, but
Right.
I don't think that's true. I do agree. I don't think it's true because I've dated light skin and dark skin, and I've never dated anybody soft. So, wait, that's a lie. There was this one, but this is I used to cry all the time. But just like Amberly was talking about, as a brown skinned woman, I can say that even though I haven't experienced, I definitely witnessed and can attest to the fact that there's stigma that comes with being a brown skinned woman. Of course, that we're always expected to be loud, to be ghetto.
Yes.
To be whenever you think of
Ignorant.
Exactly, ignorant, and to all the negative things basically that follow being a woman of color, period. It seems like whenever they choose a face for it, it's that brown skinned girl.
Right.
Whether they're trying to compare us to Aunt Jemima.
What you got to say, huh?
Why do you think
Wait.
Why do you think that is? Hold up, did we just step? Let me stand up. Hold up. Did we just hold up? Did you just start a war right now?
Look at you. Look at you acting. I'm just sitting down. Fine. You have to get up. I'm just saying.
But them fighting words. Them fighting words. She said, where do you think that came from? Wait a minute. No, actually, I have to admit. Unfortunately, there are quite a bit of brown-skinned girls who don't necessarily give us, the best representation of team brown skin. But I can most definitely tell you, especially since moving to Houston, that there is an entire team of light skin that is not representing either. But I think it's an unfair comparison as well because correct me if I'm wrong, would you say that there's more brown-skinned women, period, than light-skinned?
I think so.
So them numbers don't even add up. It's not even a fair comparison as far as percentage-wise. I mean, if there's only a little bit of y'all, your 5% is going to look a little different than our 5%, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that could lead to a lot of things. That can have problems in the workplace. What about you? Rita Reed, you work in corporate America, downtown Houston, representing for the brown-skinned girls downtown. Go ahead, girl.
Natural brown-skinned girl.
And natural, boom. You're downtown. You work in corporate America. Have you faced any issues?
Not directly. I wouldn't say directly because I work with a pretty good group of people, but I don't want to I don't see anything that it was like targeted towards me per se, but I do kind of would say in corporate that some people just I don't want to put a color on it because some people just gravitate towards people,
Yeah.
or dark skinned. They just gravitate towards that person's personality. I can't say, oh well, she doesn't like me because I'm dark and she likes her more because she's red. Or
So when you're working in corporate America, and is your boss white?
no, my boss is actually African American.
Boom! I love it.
Brown
Okay.
skin lady, yeah.
So, but I'm sure you encounter Caucasian people in your
Of
office.
course, yeah.
Okay. Do you feel that they gravitate to? Do you think they're hesitant to talk to you, or do they?
No, not at all. And that's why I really can't like touch too much on that per se, because it's like everyone seems to pretty much get along very, very, very good. I would say.
See, I work in a medical. Work in a medical office, and I can say that when. I don't say they treat me any differently, but I can tell that their expectations are different when they encounter me versus encounter. See, the topic getting hot. when they're talking to maybe somebody who's a lighter
as far
skin.
as the education wise.
Yeah,
maybe.
like I get on probably every interview I've ever been on as a brown skin woman growing up. I've heard, "Oh, you're just not what I expected."
What is it that you did expect?
And I used to always just think of it as, it's a black thing. It's because I'm black, so they don't expect much of me. But I have lighter skinned friends where they don't really express, going through that. And it's not as surprising, which is really odd to me because she black too. So I'm thinking, I don't know if it's because when you think black, immediately you think brown skin. Immediately, it's the first thing you may think of because you think of the color. You think of brown skin. Not saying you're not black, Amber. Stop getting salty. I can feel it over here.
I'm not salty. I know I'm black.
I'm just saying. But I don't know if it's because of that or I don't know if I'm reading into it, but I'm kind of starting to feel like they may be more intimidated because I'm a darker woman. So then when I do step into a room, they have these expectations. They have these negative expectations of me and my personality and my education, and you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so they always get that surprise look on their face when I open my mouth and when I can actually have a decent conversation, or I can break down, yes, this is wrong with your body. Yes, they look a little surprised, and then they actually, some of them verbally express that. They say, "Wow, you're just so well spoken." Wow. He's like, "Wow, really? Thank you for noticing. You're surprised?" He said, "I went to school. Did you go to school? Did you read your books too? I was hooked on phonics. Were you?" I mean, were you? You're surprised?
Yeah, because it's just the way how we're portrayed.
Right, I agree, Jasmine. Yeah,
that's
we're
something
portrayed
we
very negative. It's like as soon as a black chick or a chick of a darker complexion walks into a room, it's like, oh, she ghetto. Look at her weave. It's all the way down to her butt. Oh, look at those nails.
Yeah, we do that to each other. Yeah.
So it's like soon as you know, it's like you're kind of a product of your environment. Even though you may be from the same environment, go to the same schools, but you guys were raised differently. Yeah. You're still portrayed negatively until you open your mouth and that other person gets to, see what you're about.
True. But I want to pause right there because I think it's time for a break.
Yes, we got to pay some bills.
Let's pay some bills. Definitely stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ladies Night. We'll be back in about 3 minutes. We're going to pay some bills and maybe play you a little something to get your mood up, get your energy going. Stay tuned. Please chime into the chat room. We're going to be checking into it as soon as we get back from the break. That's in 3 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Ladies Night. It's your girl, El Styles. Please stay tuned. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It's your girl, El Styles, here with Amber Lee, Rita Ree, and of course, DJ Just Me, because it's Ladies Night. We're about to go back in. I'm laughing so hard right now because Amber is on the couch so salty right now.
It's just me. I'm solo in here. But you know what? There's only one sun in the sky. That's all right. That's what I'm just saying.
Oh,
did
you come up with that one all by yourself?
I did.
For those of you just tuning in, we are going in. We are having that color conversation, that conversation that everybody has an opinion about, but nobody dares to jump in on. We are asking everybody, go ahead, jump into the chat room at www.hcfradio.com and let us know how you feel about it. Tonight, we're going in, like I said, about color. We are all different shades of brown in here. We want to know what the experience is and how there's just this battle between light skin, dark skin. As, for instance, there's someone very light skinned sitting next to me, and she's real saucy about it. As a chocolate woman, I've never been prouder, but not everybody is. I see women every day going out of their way trying to change the situation. I know women who refuse to go outside.
Yeah, because they don't want to get darker.
And I'm like, honey, chocolate is so sweet. Like, really?
They just don't know.
Naomi Campbell? Really? Like, what is the issue? What is the issue? But a side of it that I definitely want to touch on is, of course, where it affects us the most. Where does it always affect us, ladies? Men.
Where?
You think so, men?
When it comes to your personal relationships, just personal relationships, is that not where it hits us? But it's really about the reaction more so. I know a lot of women who say that they feel, a lot of brown-skinned women, that they feel that they are unfairly judged or they're passed aside or treated lesser than because they're brown-skinned. Or I've even heard them say that they're treated poorly. Like, men are out there who feel like they can treat a brown-skinned girl worse than they would treat a light-skinned girl and get away with it. Now, that's horrible, and I wish they would. I wish you would try. But I've heard this. I've heard stories that I've even overheard men talking like this. So I do know it's out there. It's never been brought to me per se, but I definitely know it's out there. I mean, you guys speak up. What's up?
A man will only let you do what you let him do to you.
Boom. But you can't deny that it's out there.
Yeah, of course. It is out there. Some guys do prefer.
Yes.
Why you look at Amber though?
Why you prefer the light skin? Yes.
But
it's
it's preference really.
I mean, you do have your right to have your preference, but just to say that you only date somebody lighter than you or just because they're darker than you, that's when I think it becomes an issue.
You know what else I've heard? I've heard that like some dudes they don't want to have a child with a dark skin. Oh, I don't want no dark kids.
That's horrible because I was an adorable baby. Okay.
Have y'all heard that before?
All the time. That's why some men will date outside
their race, trying to get a Holly Berry baby. Right.
Trying,
but it doesn't always work out that great.
Right. I've actually heard that. I've heard a light-skinned girl say that she wanted to have a baby by a guy who was like mixed. I mean, he was I did see, get a chance to see her boyfriend. He was mixed, but he had like little Douglas, like, little curly, nice hair, whatever. Yeah. And she was like, oh yeah, he got to be light skinned and he got to have good hair because my baby can't come out with no naps.
Lord have mercy.
So I think this whole light skin, dark skin thing has to do with like a self-hate.
Yes.
It goes all the way back from slavery, but I think it's not just within the black race. I think it's also within the Asians. I don't know if you guys ever noticed the Asian, they have this thing where they do skin bleaching, believe it or not, and they're really people of a pale descent.
I heard that's where, as far as skin bleaching goes, I heard they were the worst ones.
That's the mecca of it, really. But we just don't know about it.
It's all Asia. It's not just, we're not just talking China. We're not just talking Japan. I'm talking when you go over into India.
Oriental.
India, yes. When you go over into India, it's hardcore over there because they actually have, their class system is based off a color system. Wow. Basically, if you're Indian and you're a darker Indian, you're assumed to be a laborer, because you're spending more time outside. So they don't treat, so they die, they bleach their skin to get as light as they can. Right. And they're women, just like here, how we're dealing with that issue, they're dealing with that issue over there. The women who they put on their magazines and who they portray to be beautiful are the lighter Indian women, and the ones that come out with the lighter shade of eyes, or they do the same thing. They dye their hair.
So
they
it's
do
not just
everything
within the black culture. It's it's all cultures, but the black people, the black culture per se is more emphasized because we're extra as black people. We are extra. It's a lot of things, like even in the Oriental like the Asian culture, whatever. They do the eyelid surgery.
Yeah.
I mean, people don't,
trying to
just
look more European.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, it's within all cultures. Even in the white culture, so they don't want to be pale during the summer. They go get tan.
Yeah, they want to be darker.
That's a multi-billion-dollar business, like during the summertime.
Yeah,
go to the place to get tan like us.
But why do you think, bringing it back to as far as within our culture, why do you think that our anger...
Ouch.
Oh.
Yeah, we
are. Okay? You all right? Okay. You all right?
Why do you think that
That's the light-skinned people. That's light-skinned.
Give me 5 minutes, okay? Give me 5 minutes.
So why is it, do you think, that we harness this energy, we actually put it towards each other? I mean, as women of color, we all have our own experience. You heard Amber and her light bright complaints, and then we have our own complaints, our own experiences, negative experiences as brown skinned women. Why do you think we choose? It's not us treating them like that. It's not them treating us like that. It's mostly outsiders that treat us differently based on our shade of brown. So why do you think we hold so much anger or tension towards the lighter skinned girls when it's not usually them that are treating us differently. It's usually whether it's
They do treat us different. What you talking about, girl?
okay. No, that's true. Sometimes
They do treat.
but
They
in
do.
most cases, it's whether it's men, whether it's it's at work, or it's just society in general, or the media, because they love to put the light bright Halle Berry on TV, and they like to put us on when they need somebody to be ghetto and put purple weave in our hair and give us a name like Shaquana and, and tell us be black, So they love to do that, and it's not us. It's not usually, at least not that often, I should say, that it's coming from another woman of a different color. Now, there are those out there that do act like that, though. They are the ones that think they're better because they are lighter. We know that.
Well, I would say all light-skinned women are like that. The women that I have come across.
Let's not say all, though.
Not all per se, but not all, but majority of the women that I've come across, they feel like, if they have a group of dark-skinned friends or friends that are darker complexion than them, their confidence is like just automatically higher because they already know in their mind frame that they're going to be like first choice or top notch. And, like when they walk into a room, it's like, oh, I already know I'm bad. I'm light skinned. Team light, that's that thing that comes in team light skin. It's like an automatic type of a thing. Like you already know in your mind, like, oh, I'm light skinned. I'm good. We're good over here,
Wow, that is so true.
That's
you
how
can see it on their face
act.
sometimes.
That's not even that. You see it. They might not tell you to your face, but when you go on their Instagram page and their Facebook, that's when you see those type of things. Most of their friends are like their complexion or.
That's true.
I don't know. I'm just
no. What you're speaking is true. Now, I've always found that perspective to be really hilarious to me, only because I just never let myself go there. Like, for one thing that, and it's not on purpose. It just happened to be this one of the oldest friends I have who better be listening. Shout out to Lachey. She is Team Light Bright. Mm-hmm. She is she's about Amber Lee's complexion. Okay. She's about Amber Lee's complexion, and we go and we.
You all right, Amber Lee?
And she's beautiful.
I'm fine.
She's absolutely beautiful. She kills them. We go out, and when we go out, we walk together, and we walk together proudly because, as far as I'm concerned, there is no competition. It's like this. If you're a man, you have a preference. If you I don't want to be with somebody who's with me she's cute for a brown skinned girl. No, I want the man who's going to look at me and say, I chose you. I had a choice between light bright and I had a choice between chocolate. And I chose chocolate because that's my preference. I don't want to feel like you're settling. You're settling because you couldn't get a light-skinned girl, so you'd settle for a chocolate. So I have no qualms when I go. My confidence is uber high when I go out with her. I'm not threatened or intimidated whatsoever. Because if a man is going towards her, then boo-boo, go that way, please. Because you're not even on this vibe over here. You're not even on this level over here. Go. That's your preference. So I want you to go get what you want. I want who's going to see my skin and my skin tone and see me for who I am and appreciate it and choose to have that. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's really fair to use phrases like better or use phrases like you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, why is it should never be looked like that. It should never be looked at as you should never settle, period. And if some people do, and if it is a genuine attraction, I'm all for it. If you are just genuinely attracted to one shade, then go get that shade.
Right. It just don't say that this shade here is better than that shade.
Exactly. If that's
light skin, here go light skin again.
Tripping and falling. Maybe it's something with it. I don't know. Maybe no, but I think what worries me is I know you guys always hear about how it could be more of it's a self-hate thing. Or is it brown skin? Is it dark skinned men or black men, period? Or not just men, just black people, period, have this mental state that light is better. So then they carry it with them and subconsciously, they carry it with them, not consciously, subconsciously. So then they enact it throughout their life. With the choices that they're making, whether they're choosing a wife or they're choosing a husband or they're choosing, just like we were saying, we want to have a light baby because we perceive that as cute.
Right.
Last time I checked, I was chocolate and my baby pictures were adorable. But anyway.
Well, because the lighter you are, sometimes they assume the better your hair is going to be too.
And that ain't true.
I don't even want to talk about that.
I've seen some yellow.
I'm saying for real though.
But I mean, is hair that serious?
Man, it can
To
get,
some people, it is.
Yeah, for some people, yes.
It truly is. Some girls don't leave the house without their hair done or a wig on.
Yes, we talked about that last week.
Synthetic or whatever. Oh, I
Yeah.
gotta put something on my head. I can't go out here like this.
But
you can't be in your own skin.
Right, but that's why sometimes people prefer the lighter skin or someone of a different race. So
Yeah.
That's sad.
yeah.
That's
it
sad.
really is. It's self-hate, really.
I did an interview earlier today, and because I wanted to get a male perspective, and I do believe we're going to be having a male coming in later on today. But I wanted to make sure we got a couple different opinions, and the opinion I got was his name. Let's call him T. Okay, we'll just go. I'm not going to put him out there like that. I'm going to call him T. T is a successful brown-skinned man who has dated all different types of women, but he admits he's about 38, so he admits that in his younger days he was that guy who only yellow bones, only. And he admits it was a mental state. It had nothing to do, because he admitted that he was attracted to all sorts of women. He was attracted to chocolate women. He was attracted to even white women. He said, for the way it truly was sexy is sexy. But when it came down to who he would actually approach or who he would actually bring home and date, he only went for yellow bones. And he said with maturity, of course, those things changed. But he said that it almost there was a pressure that came from the way he was raised. There was a pressure that came from the environment that he was raised in. When your circle is co-signing, oh, you got to go get you that yellow bone, or you want you a bad chick, that means you have to go get you a yellow bone. And, of course, that's supported in the media, in movies, and all over the place. And so, but I really appreciated that he was, willing to be as honest as he was. Kind of threw me a little bit, but
Right.
But he said as he got older, of course, the older you get, the more mature you get, the less other people's opinions. Supposedly, yeah, hopefully. But they say the less the opinions of others matter. So he was able to be who he really is, if you should say that, right?
Right.
I mean, the way he broke it down, it sounded like a common story, and I think a lot of men feel that way. I mean, what do you think?
I do think men feel like that. It's because of what they see out in the media, like we were saying earlier.
Yes.
When it comes to music videos, who's typically the first person you will see? Either someone of a lighter shade,
which I don't understand, because we twerk too. I'm just saying.
I know, but it's just, I guess the light is right or something.
Don't say that. That's horrible.
Yeah, I do see that though. And it's not right, because me personally, some of the lightest shades of light, I guess, of brown
Lighter
or whatever.
shades of light.
Lighter shades of brown. I haven't really, just in my opinion, a lot of people say, oh, if you light skin, majority of the time a light skinned chick is going to be more cute than a dark skinned chick. But me personally, I've seen some light skinned chicks that look like, whoa, like, oh my goodness.
Like a mad truck.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess it does depend on preference, but I do agree that what you just mean, as far as you said, is like in the media, it is like as soon as you turn on the TV, whether you're watching a music video, a sitcom,
commercials,
a movie, just anything, it's the first person you're gonna see is like a lighter shade of brown.
I don't agree.
Shade of brown.
Agree.
Of course you wouldn't agree.
Of course. Poor Emily.
Listen, on TV and commercials and stuff like that, the black person is not always light skinned.
The girl
They're
is.
mixed.
The
They're
girl.
mixed.
Not necessarily. What's that one commercial going on?
That one commercial?
That
Exactly.
one. You know that one?
That one black
Wait,
friend?
no, Amber, come on, keep it real. Usually they'll show a black family and daddy will be chocolate, mama will be a little light like you, and then the baby look like it
With
came
some
from the
curly hair.
neighbors.
Right.
There's a commercial airing right now. Okay, it's one of them. I think it's at Kroger or something like that, or
She wishing.
something about. It's like a mother and a daughter. The daughter, I think the mother is dark skinned, and the both of them dark skinned. Okay, I think.
So what's going on in this commercial?
It's about food.
Well,
It's about shopping. It's about shopping.
But your
for
point is
lean
that-
food. My point is there are dark skinned women in these. Look at the dark and lovely. It's It's dark.
It's dark and lovely.
But you have to, in order for you to be lovely, you have to be dark. Dark and love. Where did that even come about?
I'm lovely and I'm not dark. I'm just saying.
But where did that? Think about that. Dark and lovely. Where did that come
they're
about?
talking about the color of the hair, by the way.
I'm assuming you're talking about like the products, dark and lovely.
The products.
I think dark and lovely.
That's
the
product
product.
line?
I think what they're referring to is hair, though.
Yeah, but
because they usually have the box that I remember has a couple different shades of brown on it, so I don't know. Unless I think we always just took it as it's for black people. But
look, dark and lovely. The girl flowing her hair all about
Her
she's
relaxed
dark
hair.
Skin. Her relaxed.
It's a relaxer.
I thought it was a hair color.
She's dark skinned. I haven't seen a person of my skin tone on a dark and lovely commercial.
Because it's dark and lovely. They trying to.
But y'all point was that light skinned people are the black person on TV.
Typically,
majority.
Majority.
Yeah.
Oh,
Majority.
Most of the time.
No,
Not
wait.
all
Well, let's be more accurate about that.
If a
Though,
black person is on there,
we
they
do
either acting a
see.
fool.
I do see plenty of brown skinned people on television, but it's about the image, the position that they put them in. When it comes to the pretty girl, or when it comes to the love interest, when it comes to those specific, or the sweet
Precious. Why Precious couldn't be light skinned? But go ahead.
Exactly. Exactly.
No comment.
When they were like, when they were putting together the movie Precious, they were like, we want the ghettoist, we want all these negative. They basically took every negative stereotype that there was, and they wanted to build it into one character. And the one thing they most definitely made her was dark. Now that says a lot. Do you think the movie would have even had as big of an effect if she wasn't as dark as she was?
Nope.
Do you think the point would have gotten across?
Nah.
Not as much.
What does that say about y'all?
We're realists.
That's the sad thing. That's the sad thing, and I think that's what the media is feeding off of.
Right.
Is they know that that's how we are trained to think. That's what, and I think that's where the Precious was. Yes, she basically represented everything that we're trying to fight against.
Exactly.
She's the reason why when I walk into offices and they hit me with, well, you're just not what I thought. You're just not what I expected. She's the reason. Is that image right there? But I do like Gabby though, because she's a great actress. But I'm just saying,
she's very nice.
Very like Gabby. I'm just saying, I wish you didn't take that part. I'm just saying, I kind of wish you didn't take that part. But we can't deny that it is out there, and every time, and not every time, but a lot of times in commercials when they show mommy, the suburban mom, and she looks a little bit more like Amber than she looks like me. I'm just saying. But I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna speak up for the light skinned girls because.
Please do,
because I know Amber's feeling real lonely out here. I've also heard a lot of, like what you were saying, a lot of negative perspectives. I had a friend of mine who she had to deal with the whole "you're not black enough" thing because she was very light, but she was most definitely Negro, and she wasn't even mixed. I don't know how she got her complexion because her daddy was black, okay? And her mother was my skin tone. She just. I don't know if she didn't spend a lot of time outside or what, but she was very
way down the line.
Exactly.
Probably somebody dipped. But then again, when it comes to melanin, you never know what you're going to get. There's no race out there that is more versatile than to be of Negro descent.
Right.
That it's just I know you guys heard about that Nigerian couple that popped out the blonde hair, blue eyed baby. Did you see that?
Well, that's where we originated from.
That's real.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, girl.
That's where black
And
people
originate.
white people originate from black people.
Oh, that's a whole nother topic. We can do that next week,
though.
though.
Is that her?
Well, because think about it. When you think about it, can two white people create a black baby?
No.
But two black people can create
Most definitely. And we did in Nigeria last year.
And throughout history,
No, there is most definitely science that backs up what she says, but that's a very deep topic.
That's
another
show, y'all.
Yeah. I don't want to go that deep yet. But tune in. We'll hit that topic too, because that's very deep. But you definitely have she's speaking facts on that.
Yes.
But threw me with that one. Hold on, let me go back to the left. Okay. But yeah, we see it every day. We have to deal with it. It affects various parts of our lives, and it's not always negative though, and it's both positive. It's positive and negative, and it's positive and negative on both sides. Light-skinned girls, you guys got a lot of things to deal with. People I've
been dealing with it all night.
But it's not as harsh as some of the things that dark-skinned people go through.
It's all love.
Yeah. We're just mad because
whenever I want to be nice. Oh, okay.
No, we're just mad because they always want to call us Aunt Jemima. Okay, with this man, because that's the way. Didn't you imagine that always being the perception though? Like, can you just take a light skin moment and imagine and just imagine that you were brown skin and always having to fight that same stereotype. And it's not just, oh, you're not black enough. It's not just, oh, you're conceited. We gotta fight, oh, you're ignorant. Oh, you're ghetto. Oh, I don't want you because I don't want my baby to look like you. Can you imagine? See, that cuts a little deeper, right?
All have to fight that too.
Not
against
as
people,
much as
people outside. Like if they're not black, they look at you and they go, But amongst our own group of people, right? It's a little different. Mm-hmm.
Like for instance, the perfect example of how people view color is our president. Most definitely Negro. But what's the first thing people see? Boom. It just happened. Right. It just happened. Right. There is nothing about that man that is not Negro. He has every Negro feature there is. Right. Except he's just not that dark. But he is brown. And his hair, he got his kitchen, he looked just like mine. Okay? I mean the back of his neck looked just like mine. Just
imagine if you were seeing President Barack Obama for the first time and you didn't know anything about him, right? What would you think he was? You would think he was half black, half white?
No, I would think he was Douglas.
What?
Douglas. I would think he was mixed with something. I mean, you could. It's just like if you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, but what about him? What about his features? Just because he's lighter?
I mean, well, he's lighter. I look at the freckles on his face. I mean, I can just kind of. I wouldn't say that he's 100% black.
Okay.
He kind of remind me of a Tiger Woods, but not all the way. Like maybe a little.
Like the most I'd give Barack excuse me, let me not be disrespectful. President Barack Obama. The most I would give him is like, okay, he might be Creole. Or he might be like that's the something most. But I would definitely. This is the way I view it. If the war went down, if it all went down. He's about to be outside with us. He's not fooling anybody, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's a black man. Y'all need to stop. Right? But just having to deal with that. I mean, he made such a great stride. He's the first African American president, period. First. That is a major. He's in the history books. He could have been the worst president in the world. Regardless of what your opinion is of the man, he broke the mold. The one thing it used to be a joke. It used to be a joke out there say a black president.
Yeah, really.
Even Tupac said it.
Hey, never gonna happen. Right?
Yeah, I believe that too growing up.
Right? I never thought it was, and he actually did it. And yet what he's having to fight is not only is he's not black enough. I mean, he's not black enough. He's not
he's
urban
definitely not
enough.
White enough.
He's obviously. So we have to look at it and say that we are dealing with a lot of things as being of darker complexion because there's no hiding our blackness, okay? But I can see it on their end too. They got to deal with it too. So we have to. Yes, Amber, I feel for you. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm just saying. Although in our case we can't really do anything about it. You could just go outside and get you could just spend some time outside, but
But you know what? You probably wouldn't even get dark. That's
I don't.
Thing
I
too.
try.
Yeah.
I try. I sit out there with my legs out because my legs is white. I sit out there and nothing happens.
Yeah, I actually had a friend that actually gets tans. Like she does like little competitions or whatever, and she'll like during the season she'll go and get a tan because. Same thing she said. What you said, like her bottom is like pale.
Yeah, it's real, especially during the wintertime.
Isn't that something?
So what I want to touch back on the interview that I had earlier with this guy, and you stepped out for a moment, so you missed this part. I did an interview with a friend of mine, and he gave us a nice little perspective based on being a brown-skinned man who's of a good age. He's lived a lot, and he actually admitted that in his younger days, he exclusively only dated yellow bones. He was attracted to everything, but he would only be willing to date or bring home a yellow bone. And he admitted to it being more of a pressure thing in the environment. And that's the direction we were going earlier. So I want to touch back on that because he actually went a little deeper on that. He actually posed the thought, well, let me put it this way. What I asked him was, okay, so why do you think I, as a brown-skinned girl, did not have the negative experiences that a lot of other brown-skinned girls describe as far as growing up? And he said he thinks it's because of the environment I grew up in. I was very blessed growing up, so I grew up in a good neighborhood, and he said that he assumed that I was sheltered from a lot of things. That was his excuse, and he was saying that my experience may have been much more negative if I would have grown up in a primarily black neighborhood. Now, does that not say so much about our culture?
It speaks volume.
Because this is a person who is coming. He's originally from Louisiana. He grew up between here and Louisiana. So he grew up. He was inundated in the black community. So that was his experience. That was his college experience. That was his everything. That was his experience. And he is saying that through it because I grew up in more of a mixed community, if not white community. That's why I didn't have those experiences. So that definitely says that whole light skin, dark skin thing is most definitely, it's mainly, we're doing it to each other.
Yeah, real bad.
And just to feed on that, something that I noticed before, as well as in my travels, is that in Europe, it's the complete opposite.
Yeah, they adore the darker women.
Which is crazy to me. So it's not just a black community thing; it's a black American community thing and Caribbean. Because in the Caribbean, they're dealing with the same thing. Because the bleaching thing, we all know in the Caribbean, the bleaching thing is an issue right now.
Especially in Africa.
Oh my God!
It is.
Yes.
Yes.
And in Jamaica, oh Lord.
Yes. I have to admit. Yes. And I feel like there's a certain pressure that is getting to these women and why. And I think it is
media. It has a lot to play. It's like the things that we see on TV plays into our subconscious, whether we acknowledge it or not. And most of the times you look at these videos, these movies, you see all these like high quality roles played by lighter people. I can't even talk tonight. Played by people of lighter complexions, and it, you keep seeing these images all the time. Then you watch the rap videos and you hear your favorite rapper, oh, I only date light skinned chicks, and it's just bad. And then you see all these nice, dark, rich, handsome black men with either white women or lighter wives.
Exactly.
You don't really see a good Cosby type of real life family nowadays.
But would it really matter? Okay, I was on the internet, and you guys know Tank the singer, right?
Yeah.
And I guess he posted up something. You heard about it?
I heard it on a breakfast show.
A Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club.
Yeah. And I guess he posted posted a picture of him and his girlfriend. And then next thing you know, he's getting attacked by the darker skin colored women because they were like, why are you with her?
Wait, she's not black, right?
No, she's black. She's just light skinned.
Oh,
so she had haters.
Okay. Because I saw a picture of her and I didn't even know if she was black. She looked like she must be mixed then. Because the picture that I saw, she looked like, I was like, is she? Whatever.
They said she's light skinned.
Okay.
And so it's like, what's the big difference? All this, I guess, his darker skinned fans were kind of bashing him a little bit on the reason why you always when you see a picture with him is with someone lighter skin.
Because that's his woman. Like, what is your
And to me, that shouldn't really matter. Because at the end of the day, she's black.
Right.
Okay, what if she wasn't black? What if she was white? Then we'll be saying something.
They'll be saying something else.
They'll be saying something too. Yeah. So at the end,
always talk.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, okay, yes, you're light, you're brown, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're still black. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. But my whole point was you just don't see it portrayed in the media a lot as far as black families and a lot of black on black dating. You either see the black with the light. And another thing that I really don't see a lot in the media is I don't see a Morris Chestnut with I don't really see the dark skinned guys with lighter complected females as far as
we talked about that earlier.
Yeah,
remember we were saying that we think that there's
opposite.
maybe something about the opposite about does it have something to do with growing up as a brown skinned person? Are you more attracted to the opposite just because it's something different? Because I notice as a brown skinned woman, when I go out, I'm approached more often by lighter skinned men than dark skinned men.
That is I
feel like that's true.
And those are always the ones that also verbally express to me their appreciation for my skin.
Right.
Even when I dated white men. Yes, I did. Stop it. Anyways. They really, it's like because it was so opposite, it was so foreign, it was so exotic to them. You're so chocolate.
Wait a minute. Who's this in the chat room? Digital, talking about if
I was just trying to figure out how to pronounce it. But shout out to you. Thank you for tuning in.
Yes, thanks for tuning in. If you're light, you are right. If you're dark, stay back. Oh
wow!
Okay.
I
But
just
big up
thank
to you
for
though.
tuning
Big up
in,
to
though.
you. Yeah, thank you for tuning in.
Not really.
It's all love.
Of course, Amber's like,
Of course,
it's
the
all
light
love.
skin in the room. It's okay.
That was wow. I don't want to even wow. Anyways, okay. You see what happens.
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion.
That is very true. That is very true. Now, before we go to a break, because I think it's about time we might need to take another break and pray. Just one more bill. Before we go to break, okay, two. Before we go to break, I want to go ahead and I want to give you something to think about over the break because I want to touch on this. I know, okay, there's a couple moments that kind of prove the point that we're trying to make. And that is, okay, remember Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah.
What happened? Where'd Aunt Viv go?
Oh, true.
I just stopped watching the show for
And
that.
my wife and kids.
Oh, that's true. And then I would definitely want to touch on the European factor because it is most definitely opposite over there, and I want to know what it is. What is the difference? Because I've been in Europe, and there isn't, as far as culturally, there's not major differences between here and there. So I want to know, why is it the reaction is so different? The makeup of people there is similar to here, so I'm not really sure. So I would like to touch on that. I know everybody had their own experiences, so we'll go ahead and touch on that when we get back. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. It's Ladies Night. We'll be back in a moment. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the chat room. Please keep speaking your opinion, whether we like it or not. We would love it. Thank you. Team light skin, team dark skin, whatever it is, stay tuned. We'll be back in about 3. Just me, take it out. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Ladies Night. We are here live in the mix with L Styles, DJ Just Me, Amber Lee, and of course Miss Rita Ree. And it's around 10 o'clock right now, so we're gonna go ahead and jump in. We do most definitely have a male perspective. Rita Ree, who we got with us?
We got Benson.
We got What's his name?
His name is Benson.
Okay.
But he stepped out real quick. He should be.
Yeah, so in just a minute we'll bring him on. But definitely stay tuned. We're gonna have the male perspective. We're going to ask him. I want to know, I have a lot of questions for him, actually, because I feel like that's where I see it the most. It happens throughout society, yada, 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 yada. But the most harshest things and the biggest reality that we have to face when it comes to this color thing is when we're dealing with the opposite sex. So I'm definitely want to ask him a few questions. I know you guys probably have some questions as well that you wanted. So we'll just go in and we'll get his perspective, see what he has to say about it. Hopefully he's willing to be open and honest, because y'all try to get quiet when you get put on the spot. You got a whole lot to say about brown skinned girls when we're not around, or a whole lot to say about light skinned girls when we're not around. But hopefully he's open and willing. But jumping back onto the topic, I said I wanted to jump back onto the differences between here, the society and the views of color here, and the society and the views of colors in Europe. Now, the reason why I say Europe, especially being from the Caribbean community, you know, we're all over Europe, just as much, if not more, than right here in the States. And I noticed that it's literally the exact opposite. One example that was pointed out to me, and that I definitely agreed with, is we talk about who's our light skinned girl in the States. Beyonce. Go ahead, Jasmine. I know you're a stan. Go ahead.
No, Beyonce, I'm sorry. Just forgive him.
I'm just saying. Okay, so our light skinned representative is Beyonce, right?
Okay.
In Europe, what was pointed out to me is the person that they treat as their Beyonce is the exact opposite. Is Kelly.
Roland?
It's Roland. Yeah.
Oh.
See, in America, we don't even remember her name.
No, I was just
and we most
surprised.
definitely are not buying her albums, unfortunately, which we should, because she's dope. But anyway.
Yeah, she's pretty good, but that's just surprising to me that they would,
Why is that so surprising?
Because I don't
she's
really
brown?
hear her. Not even that. I don't really hear a lot of Kelly Rowland's music in the.
No, what it is she does house music. She does dance music, and that's not a big thing here in the States. But so in Europe, she released a dance album. It's like it was the biggest thing in the world for like an entire year. And when they talk about beauty, they use her a lot. That's why they asked her to do some of the major things like the X Factor there and things like that. She is the Beyonce over in Europe. They always talk
Wow.
about how
I had
beautiful
no
she is.
idea.
And when it comes to brown-skinned women, period, it is so appreciated over there. I was reading some articles where a woman was saying how she was so surprised just because when she went to Europe, and she was actually Caucasian, and she went to Europe with her friends, and her friends were black. And so she thought they went out, trying to experience the city. They were in London, and then she went out thinking, they're gonna have a good time, ladies' night, London. She's thinking she's in. She's I'm from Europe. I'm European. I'm about to be. She's like, I'm about to be the stuff. She actually pointed out how she noticed that she got no play. And this is from both black men and white men. She got no play. She expected it. She was very surprised when she noticed that her friend, her very dark complected friend, got all the love.
Wow.
And I just thought, and that's just one experience, of course, but this is something, there was tons of stories. This one just kind of stood out to me because she went in for a little while. It was quite a long article where she was just explaining and expressing how shocked she was, how she's used to being here in the States, and when they go out, she'd get all the attention. But she went to London, and it was like they didn't even see her. So why do you think there's such a major difference?
I don't know. That's weird for me. I never really heard about that as far as like the London part. That's interesting.
Y'all need to get on a plane. I'm just saying.
Take us there, stop.
Okay, you paying for a plane ticket?
Now, I think if I were to guess what it is, the makeup of people there is very similar to here, but I would say they do have a more
culture.
I think there's a little bit more culture, and I noticed not only do they have more straight from an island or straight from a different, it's
a
more
lot of Caribbean,
people, a lot of African people, and not, we're also, of course, we consider ourselves to be African American that are here, but when I say African, I mean straight from
Caribbean's
Africa.
Not on the census, so
yeah, there's that, and they do say that they're quite. They describe it to me as they believe that we're quite different. That here African Americans are quite different than the blacks that are in Europe. And I don't know if that makes it different. They say that our attitude, the personalities, and the way we carry ourselves is quite different, and how that they're actually disappointed to see the way that we are portrayed, that African American women are actually portrayed in the media, because it's the complete opposite in Europe. They see our television, but they're speaking of in their day-to-day lives, the way that darker skinned women actually carry themselves in the street is the exact opposite to what we show it on TV here. So with our Meet the Browns and Autumn shows, the way that we're portrayed in Europe, we're portrayed as the Mrs. Huxtable. Remember her? Yes. It was more of the sophisticated, there's a classier level. They really don't understand where we're coming from on that, and it's shocking to them. And I think it's their perception and what they're seeing over there and what they're dealing with is what builds their opinion of us. Right. As far as looking at a brown-skinned woman, or maybe it's because the women that are there who are brown-skinned, there's more of a pride thing. They're proud of it. It's nothing that they look at. So they carry themselves with even more confidence. So therefore, it's going to affect the way that people treat you, right?
Of course.
Right.
So maybe that's what it is.
You are what you exude.
But I just saw someone else just was walking to the studio.
Studio.
It's Benson. Benson is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. He's about to get on the mic. We're going to dig in a little bit. We're going to see the male perspective. Come on in, don't be shy. Have a seat. Have a seat, Benson. For those of you who, none of y'all can see, so I'm going to go. Benson's black.
Benson is a shade of between mocha and caramel.
He's like a little bit of Rita-Ree, a little bit of Amberly, a little bit. It's
a
winter,
mixture, right?
Yeah. It's winter, so it might be different later. Don't be shy, Benson. It's okay. So we've been waiting actually all night to dig into some man as far as when it comes to this topic. So I'm not. Wait. Don't look at me like just me. I didn't mean it like that. So let's go ahead and dig it. I've been doing a whole lot of talking, so I would like the ladies to take over. I know you all have questions. So go ahead, jump in, Benson. Rita, this is your friend. I know you probably have some questions you've been waiting to ask him. Now you put him on the spot, girl. Go ahead, put him on the spot.
So I would just like to know, just from a man's point of view, how do you feel about the whole light skin versus dark skin, thing that's going on within the black community?
Do we have the Jeopardy drop?
Right. I don't have a preference.
But how do you feel about it?
I think that
I mean, you see what you watch on TV and, you know, all the things that goes on.
Do you feel
in
the pressure
media?
from it?
No pressure. My preference is dark.
Why do you like
is
dark
that?
versus like?
Amber just got saucy.
Yeah, what's up with that?
Damn, you know what? I don't know. I just have a preference.
You need to explain why.
He
you
says the
prefer-
darker the berry, the sweeter
really
the
wanna
juice.
know?
I really want to know.
That's
I
the
really
truth.
want you to keep it.
That's my truth.
Oh,
What's your
okay,
truth?
Okay. All right.
What is it? Wait. No, I want to hear from him.
No,
I want to hear
no,
from him.
No, we need to hear it from him. Well, what is your preference? Let's stop giving him answers.
Speak loud and clear,
No,
though.
that's right. I feel like the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Is that so?
Yeah.
So what's up with my juice?
I think all of the juices are cool. I just think I guess my preference is just dark and complected, but I dated light skinned, high yellow.
Okay.
Have you ever stepped out of your race?
Yeah.
So do you feel like there's a difference, or is it just personality wise?
It's a difference. Actually,
Wait, between
you know
white
what?
and black, or is it a difference between light and dark?
You know what? It's a difference. Now I could also tell you this. That
Oh snap! I feel like he about to go in.
Yeah,
Hold on, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Let me get comfortable.
I think even though my preference is dark-skinned women, I think that they are more meaner.
Oh, what? Wait a minute. See, this is one of those stereotypes.
Thank you.
Wait,
Thank
just
you.
me? Did
They
you just
are
clap?
mean because they've been attacking
Did you
me
just
all
clap?
day.
Did you just clap? I need you to get your teams together.
No, for real, I think that they are more like stubborn opposed to.
Like you were so cool like 5 minutes ago.
I mean, I'm just keeping it real.
Are you talking off of past experience, or are you just?
I'm talking from experience from both sides.
You think that when you dated a lighter colored girl, she was more nicer, or?
They are a little bit more.
I know.
Okay.
More. They are just more easier to deal with. I can put it like that.
What?
And so
Let the man speak.
Easier to deal with.
You
Do
sound
think
confused,
that a
though.
shade of color affects a person's personality?
I don't think if you're looking at it like that, it affected. But when you actually step into the boundaries and actually date both parties, then if you don't date like just one, maybe you date two, maybe you date three.
Well,
and you
how
have
many
them both,
dark-skinned girls have you dated as opposed to how many light-skinned girls?
Nice. I dated maybe let's say 3 and 4.
3 and 4 of what?
4 dark and maybe 3 red.
Okay, so you're not doing off of just like, okay, I had one light-skinned girl and one dark-skinned girl. All right, so you've had a plethora of each.
Exactly.
So why do you think darker skinned women wait, I just want to emphasize. Why do you think, because that's such an opinion, why do you think dark skinned women are more stubborn? Where do you think that comes from?
I'm still trying to find that answer.
And why is that your preference? If you think they're more, do you like stubborn women? I mean, because you said you
Challenge?
prefer,
Is
do
it
you
just an
prefer
aesthetic
prefer
thing?
darker?
I don't really mind that stubbornness. I'll just take what comes with whatever I choose.
See, that feeds into the whole the angry black woman stereotype. And that's something that we deal with a lot. And as much as I'm kind of salty because he just said that because he was cool like 5 minutes ago, that's something that I have heard very.
Don't be mad.
It's a common thing. Because I'm sensitive. Because
Okay.
I'm brown skinned. I'm
right.
sensitive. It makes you sensitive, not stubborn. But I've heard that commonly. I've heard that quite often, actually, that dark skinned women are meaner, which was the first word you used, which kind of cut a little bit.
Sometimes.
I mean, really, just me?
I mean,
what team are you on, just me?
Just me team.
Or is it just me? I've heard that the brown-skinned women are meaner, the brown-skinned women are louder, the brown-skinned women are more stubborn. But the thing is, I know light-skinned women who are just my best friend who better be listening. Just like I said earlier, she is very bright and she's very beautiful and she's very stubborn and she's hard. She keeps Jordans in the back seat. Like she's the one she's pish posh and chic. And with the moment you cross me, because she's kind of my bodyguard, so the moment you cross me, she busts out the Jordans on you. She's my bodyguard. She's a light one. She's extra light. She may even give Amber a run for her money. I mean, because we know Amber.
Is she white?
No, hold on, wait, but what you trying to say? There's no shade lighter than me, and if it is, you white? Is that what you're saying, just me?
Maybe.
I'm just saying, she kind of is the complete opposite of everything you just described, but it's surprising to me how common it is that I hear that. It kind of makes me sad because I'm not mean.
It's
Rita Reed's not mean. Are you mean, girl?
No, I feel that me being a dark-skinned person, I feel like women are... Jasmine's laughing at me. She says she don't think I passed the color test. You got
I am chocolate. Where's the brown paper bag?
I just think that dark-skinned women are more passionate. I don't know. Dark-skinned women are more passionate.
Passionate about what? Just anything, or what?
And we have a lot of melanin in our bodies, and
it makes you spicy.
We have a lot of melanin and we're passionate about it. Could be anything. We're passionate. I think the darker you are, like the saying, the darker the berry, the sweeter the juice. The darker you are, the more passion you have within you. I mean, yeah, it could vary from person to
No. That's nonsense. You're telling me now. No, I don't think so.
I think we're passionate.
It's a personality thing that has nothing to do with your skin color. I'm
I'm
passionate about this subject right now.
But you're I can't really tell. You're kind of like laid back.
Mellow.
Yeah, you're very mellowed out. So, but that, like you said, it could do with personality. I mean, I guess it depends. I don't know. But I feel like I'm passionate and I am dark and I'm passionate. I may come off mean, rude or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's just me.
Okay, Amber, stop trying to do skin comparisons. It's winter time, okay? We all got a little lighter this month, okay? It's winter time. They're over here trying to do arm tests.
There's a big difference. Look at my face.
Anyway, so back to our guest, who is actually, we do appreciate your honesty. I'm slightly salty, but I do appreciate your honesty. I appreciate your honesty.
He lost a lot of cool points tonight, but
just a little bit. Just a little bit. So let me ask you this, though. So in your circle, that's how you feel personally, but in your circle of friends, the other males, your male companions that you hang out with, do you feel that there's that stigma's in there? It's the
same. It's the same.
They believe the same thing you do?
They actually date darker complexion women also, and they say it's the same. It's the same. It's the same.
So is that their preference, or is that just what they...
That's their preference.
Because I know a lot of men who date darker skinned women only because they can't get a lighter skinned woman, which is ridiculous to me. But I've heard them say this. I don't understand. This is what they say.
No, they just prefer, I guess, maybe that's just who they wind up dating. But they still say the same thing at the end of the day. They say the same thing. They say the same. But light complected women are, I would say, kind of stuck up-ish.
Hold on. You just me word. You lost cool points with me too.
I'm in the middle.
He's on the no team.
Right. I'm just right. I'm just me. Yeah. I also think that.
Have you experienced that with a light-skinned girl being stuck up and conceited?
Yeah.
I think we all
have.
A few times?
Yeah. I mean, not dating them, but just even if it's just being friends with them, just listening and observing conversations and how they act.
Look, it's not called conceited, okay? It's not conceited. It's just confident.
What is it, Amber?
No.
It's confident.
No,
is it?
Is
it?
Well,
you could tell a difference. So when you talk to different people,
though.
you're not conceited per se, but maybe the people he has run across. I've seen that too with girls. You know, you don't have to say too much to bring yourself out. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you could tell a difference.
So let me ask y'all this. If let's say a light-skinned girl, y'all think, oh, she's conceited or whatever. And then a dark-skinned girl comes across and does the same thing to her, like that she's doing. Would y'all say she's conceited?
No.
Why? But that's not fair. Why would you not think that the dark-skinned girl was not conceited when the light-skinned girl is conceited, but they're just doing the same thing? They walking in the club.
I think it might be.
They both feeling themselves and everything like that. But the light skinned girl's conceited, not the dark skinned one.
I think it might be because
she's just feeling herself. The other one is conceited. Why?
Really, I think it might be because when there's the same way how we had all these complaints about all we got to deal with and all we got to go through. I think people appreciate it when they see a brown skinned girl who's super confident. Because there's not a lot of brown skinned girls who are. Because a lot of brown skinned girls are affected by that stigma the old boy right here to my left just put out there. So I think that's why whenever you do see a beautiful brown skinned woman out there who's representing herself well and she carries herself well and she's confident, she loves her skin, people cheer that on. They're like, yes, be brown, be beautiful, yes, boom. Right? That's what they do. So I think that's, but then when you got, your team, when you do it.
Why you gotta say it like that?
I'll give you a perfect example. If two girls walk down the street, or women walk down the street, and one of them red, like you said, and one of them is dark, and they both act the same way, the guy most likely going to still take the chance at the darker one, feeling that it's a better shot.
Really?
Yeah.
I have heard that some men are intimidated
by yellow bones.
Yeah,
I don't think it's intimidation. It's just
y'all don't want to be rejected, or you. Don't,
but
either you don't want rejection, or you don't want the challenge. I think that's what it is.
But why is it considered more of a challenge? That's the part that's messing with me. Like
because they think the light skinned girl is gonna be stuck up.
Just like we say, the dark skinned and complected women are stubborn. Come across kind of meanish. It's the same on a light complected side, but it's just more.
So you'd rather deal with the stubbornness than
because I just like chocolate.
But sometimes it comes off as they may go up to the dark skinned girl, not wanting to deal with what comes with the light skinned girl, but the moment they feel like they would have a chance with the light skinned girl, they would go that direction. Because there's a lot of dudes who do that settling thing, and that's so disgusting to me. I can't even think about it. But there's a lot of dudes who are like that. Like they'll date the brown skinned girl, but the wife they want is that light skinned girl that they try to find.
I could believe.
I hear that all the time. That's because that's a perception that's put out in media and everything. When you think of the wifey, it's the yellow bone. When you think of the thought. The thought or the side chick,
it's the black girl.
It's the brown, exactly, the brown skinned girl with the big booty.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, and I don't think that's fair. I don't think it's.
Nah, it's not.
I mean, can anything really be fair? I don't know if I use the right word. We're not gonna say fair because if that's your preference, I'm not gonna hate on you. But if you're doing it simply to please society, because sometimes that's what it feels like it is. They feel like when you become successful or when you get into that position that you look better if your wife looks like Aunt Viv Part 2.
Nice.
I can't believe they replaced Aunt Viv. No, it was so wrong.
That just killed the show.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, so if Daddy looked like that, and that's the new mom,
like
where Carlton come from? Because Carlton chocolate.
I kind of wanted to ask you about what do you feel as far as like on the men's side, light skin versus dark skin? You're kind of like not too much, you're not too dark, but you're not too light either. Yeah. So how do you feel as far as on the guy side? Is there like a stigma? Do you like when you were coming up, do you feel like dudes attacked you because of your complexion?
No.
Or you weren't considered hard enough because you weren't this color darker, or
maybe just in the winter, right?
Nice. Nah, I never was. I never had an issue with nothing like that. Nah.
Okay, so in your circle of friends, what I'm always hearing is, I always hear, oh, he's acting like a light-skinned brother. Like, what does that mean? Where did that come? Is that stigma for real, or is it a joke? They're always comparing, oh, he's Drake. He's a Drake. You got a Drake. Like, if I date a light-skinned dude, my brother, he's like, you got to stop with these Drakes. Like, what are you doing? Because my brother's a very dark-skinned man, and he has this perception of light-skinned men, like being light-skinned means you're weak. Like, is that something that's
something
common?
that a lot of dudes think. Too.
Why? Where does that come from?
Hey, the same place where everything else that we discuss come from is just like that.
It's just like that.
Yeah, it's just like that. As soon as you unless they start getting all these tattoos and things.
Right, Chris Browning it out. Huh?
And, right, you have to kind of But I'm not saying that not every light-skinned dude do it.
So it just sounds like across the board that light comes off as light in general. Just light, like they're a lighter person to do with. Exactly. Just a light attitude, light personality, real mellow. you know, it seems like that's what it is, and I can't really say that makes any sense. To be honest, it doesn't really make any sense.
Let me ask y'all a question. Do y'all have preferences? I mean, y'all don't have like dog.
We're not talking about us.
No, I think it's fair. We did it to him. It's fair.
Asking.
We can go in. We're just not gonna start with me. Just me.
I do have a preference.
Dog, light,
but
chocolate.
I'm open. You know,
I'm with just me on that.
I have a preference. I mean, it's just what I'm attracted to. I'm normally attracted to someone. Don't hate me on this one.
Here we go.
Usually someone that's probably lighter than me. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
All right.
Usually, I said it, but like I said, I'm
It's
open.
so funny because she was the main one hating on
Right?
me. But okay.
No, but I have a tendency to.
I feel like I need to reject your team brown skin card.
No,
I feel like
I do.
I'll welcome her on team light skin. Come on, just me.
I'm not saying that I'm just light skinned, period. I like all shades of people. But I do have a tendency to be attracted to someone that may be a little lighter than me. That's just me.
Where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. It could come from society and me not realizing that. But like I said, I'm open to all shades of people.
Okay, Reed.
Oh.
What's your preference?
Me personally, my preference has always been dark skin. Just coming up, I love a dark chocolate man. But you know, as I'm open, you know, I never dated outside of my race. You know, I'm still young, but I never dated outside of my race, and I never was really attracted to that. You know, but I am open to different, you know, trying different things. But I've just always been attracted to, it's just something about the darkness in the skin. But now I have dated lighter complected guys, and, you know, at the end of the day, it just depends on the person and the personality.
Of course. It always comes down to that. Emily?
Okay.
Team Yellowbone?
I do. Okay, my preference is lighter toned.
Really?
However, I know, Shaka, right? Because I'm
No,
so
it's not
like,
No,
surprising.
I just thought you like.
I thought she was gonna say dark.
Me too. I thought she was gonna be like, I want that Wesley Snipes. Like I really did.
I mean, I like my Morris Chestnut. You know, I do. You know, I mean, it's just a preference, but I am very open to darker tone.
I think most women are open in general, but
I'm open.
You know, we at night we have our preference. I think for me, I mean, I've been very open with the fact that I don't discriminate. I've dated outside my race. It's about the person, and I find sexy, and there's most definitely sexy Italians, and there's sexy Puerto Ricans, and there's sexy Mexicans, and all that. But as far as if I were to build a man, if I were to build a man, if I get Mr. Potato Head and build a man, I think. Dang, that's hard. Cause I got a sauce.
I mean, dark.
Cause there's some really sexy dark skinned men out there.
There is.
Like Idris Elba.
But they old though. What a nice, handsome, young.
Look, okay.
I don't know. I like it.
But wait. Then there's Omari Hardwick. You know Omari.
Yeah.
Yes. So sometimes just me.
Yes.
No, sometimes you know, I don't know. It's like, what's the flavor of the moment? Really, what's the flavor
It's
of the
whoever's
moment?
looking good at the moment.
Exactly.
Whoever's
As long
looking
as
good.
for me, it's not about the shade for real. It's about how you carry yourself. I'm big on a man's walk. I know it sounds crazy, but that walk, like Idris Elba, like if he would just sit there, I probably wouldn't even feel him like that. It's when he goes walking across the room and then all that chocolate glimmering light above.
And that coconut oil glistening on the skin.
Yes, and like I've seen that. What's that movie? What's the movie he was just in? He's like No Good Deeds, and he's in the shower. The water was glistening. The water was glistening down the chocolate. There was so much water. Anyways, the chocolate was beautiful. So I see it, and then like Tyson Beck. Jesus. Okay, sorry.
She making this room hot.
Tyson Beckford. That's a whole lot of chocolate. Dang, that's a whole lot of chocolate. I don't know. I can't choose.
What?
He's what?
Take that back.
What did you just say?
So what's your preference then?
I don't know. I can't choose. I can't choose.
Okay, if a guy walks in if a light skinned brother walks in, a light skin, dark skin, or brown skin, what would your eyes would kind of naturally? I mean, well, they both look alike. Okay, they all look.
They
alike.
look alike. Okay, and
they all three of them look good. What can you just automatically? You just probably just choose.
Let me close my eyes. Let's say I'm in my room. He just busts in the door. He busts in the door. You know, I like my skin tone. I like brown. Okay. I think because
right,
it's
fine.
fun,
We
and
have
then
a
it's at
winner.
night, and it's like you can't. Oh, where are you? Yeah, I like you.
So you like your skin tone? Okay.
I think brown skin. I think.
Okay.
But wait, because Omari, God, he's so fine. Okay, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't
All
know.
right,
You're
well,
open.
Let's take
I'm
a minute
open. I'm just
and
gonna
look in the
have to-
chat
Did you
room
meet
here.
him?
Yeah, let's check in the chat room.
Okay, so
You met him?
Haven't met who? Omari?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to because it's going to ruin the fantasy.
They over here having a side conversation.
Okay, like I'm trying to read the chat room.
No, let's check into the chat room. Let's do it. My
Okay.
bad.
Okay, so I have a comment from DJ Silent Killer. He said, dated all shades and cultures and never really had the stereotype issues from either, but consistent. So does it mean they treat dudes of different color or race different, or is it just the person, i.e. you get what you put out?
I get what he's saying. He's trying to say if you go in with these preconceived notions based on your past experiences, do you expect it from the person who's in front of you? So if you, like you said, you had mean black women or mean dark women or stubborn dark women. So that means you go into a relationship with another relationship with a dark skinned woman with those same expectations of her. So maybe that's why you see it. It's because you're expecting to see it. Because your past experiences were with a stubborn, darker skinned woman versus your experience in the past with light skinned women, they're soft. So you're like, oh, look, she's soft too.
Nice.
So,
nice.
I mean, it's not necessarily a fair thing to walk in with those preconceived notions, right? Because we're all different. Because Amber, she light. She's stubborn as hell. She's stubborn.
I'm not stubborn.
Really?
Say Guyanese.
So I see what he's saying. He made a good point. I think we all do that though.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't think it's done consciously. I think it's more of a subconscious thing. But I think we
gotta
all
learn
do
from
that.
your mistakes, but it's hard to, sometimes we do tend to carry little things here and there.
Yeah, and I think
into
we
the
get on
future.
other people for doing it to us. But the truth is, I think it might be more of a human thing and not
Right.
just
But you know, when you meet somebody, it's always new. So you don't really you don't think about what's
Maybe not
all of that,
consciously. Maybe not, but your subconscious, maybe.
It's there. Yeah.
I don't know. I think if I just met Reed and she winked at me, she winking at me, I'm not thinking about she dark at that, but I'm not thinking of nothing that comes after that. I'm just thinking about.
But don't you go in with a plan like, okay, I know because she's dark skinned, so I know I gotta.
No
Yeah.
way.
I
No
don't-
way.
Wait,
you said
no way,
earlier.
no
You said
way.
earlier
Come
that
up
when
with
a
plan
dark.
if it's light
What'd you
skin.
say again?
I said I think they only come up with a plan if she's light skinned. Like, oh, like there's a second thought if it's a hit or miss with her. But if it's a dark skinned girl, I don't think they even think about
So what
that.
you trying to say? We're less work.
Come on.
Right.
Y'all
Less
easy.
effort.
We get
Less
it.
effort.
That's what I'm
Oh, really? Oh, really? No, but it's just like we were saying here, saying when there's a dark-skinned girl walking down the street and there's a light-skinned girl walking down the street doing the same thing, you would probably go to the dark-skinned girl because you got this plan in your head as to how she's going to be, how she's going to act. So you do kind of have a preconceived notions, right?
Yeah, but when you're actually talking to them and actually meeting them, I don't think you're not using you're not using your conscience at that time. You're just present in the moment. So you nice and oh yeah you nice. Hey, how you doing? And oh yeah, you know what? You seem really 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 nice.
Yeah.
It's on the back end.
Yeah. I can say that in my past experience that I can admit to doing that. Now that I think of it, I can admit to doing that. And not necessarily with a dark-skinned man or light-skinned man, but when I did step outside of my race, I went into it recognizing that or being very conscious of the fact that he was different and he did come from a different culture. So my whole presence was different. The way I dealt with him was different because of that. And it wasn't exactly fair because he turned out to be exactly like the rest of y'all. So, just saying. It kind of, I didn't catch myself until later, but when hindsight's 20/20. When you think about it, you're like, it was kind of, I babied him a little bit. We always talk about how there's a comfort when you're with another person of color. There's a comfort there, and when you're with somebody who's outside of your color, you're kind of on edge with it a little bit. You might be a little softer. You might be a little nice. I don't want to raise my voice. I don't want to intimidate you. You know?
Right.
So I definitely.
Right.
Exactly.
Oh.
Yes, we need a mic, Rita. Yes, we need a mic.
Right.
It's like you'll make that extra move just to go the extra step to like further impress that person.
Or like I always had this preconceived notion that I don't want to just say white men, but just men who are not black are a little less aggressive. So I might step to them versus waiting for him to come to me, because I know that, well, I don't know, but I assume that they're not as brave. You know, they may be more intimidated by a black woman. So I'm like, it's okay, honey.
So
you can talk
that gives
to me.
you that confidence to step up to them, because you know they're kind of like, wow, she stepped up to them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've had experiences where they've admitted where, yes, you know, I've always liked black women, but, you know, I'm scared what they're going to say. So,
this is 2015. I feel like if you that intimidated by a different color or complexion, you shouldn't.
I think it's kind of sad too, but
yeah, I mean, it's like not man enough. You need that that extra step from a man. What you mean?
But what else is going on in that chat room, Amber?
Girl, the ignorance.
What are they talking about? What are they talking about over there?
Okay, so Mr. Skeet Digital talking about dark-skinned girls ask for bleaching cream.
What?
Right? I'm
never in my life.
I never even
I spent
heard
lots
I'm
of time
quite sure
outside.
that. I'm quite sure. I mean, that probably does happen.
But if you're dating somebody, right, would you say, oh, can I have $20 to go get some bleaching cream?
Oh, I wouldn't.
Right?
Wouldn't. Yeah.
All right. That's unheard of. That he needs bleaching cream.
Wow.
I never heard of a female asking a man, can I get $20 to go get some? Does it cost $20? I don't even know how much that is.
I don't know.
But bringing it back to the Caribbean, the bleaching thing is something that is really, it's a big thing right now in our community. And why do you think it is? Like, why do you think this
Vibes
thing
Cartel.
Oh, did she just call? I'm not saying it because I don't know if you know how his fans roll, but you thought the Beehive was wrong. You thought the Beehive was fine. I'm just saying. I didn't say it. I didn't say this is L Styles, and I'm saying I didn't say it. Yes, as far as the bleaching cream goes, it's a big thing. It's right next to the MAC counter right now, like in the Caribbean, because whether it's them buying foundation that's completely of another color, or they're just outright trying to bleach everything out. It's a big thing.
What they bleaching?
They bleach their skin. Dark-skinned girls want to be light-skinned girls, so they bleach their skin. He's in shock. I'm so happy you're in shock about this. I'm so happy. But I think it's a sad thing, and unfortunately, I don't think it's something that's going anywhere, because as long as society is putting us out there in the way that they are, I don't think we really have much of a chance to fight against it. I think the only thing that we can do is step by step is to remain proud. Like, I can't wait to one day have a little mini me, and I hope she is as chocolatey and adorable as I was.
Well, make sure you hook up with a dark brother.
Oh no, my genes are strong. It don't matter. I don't know if you saw my family. My genes are strong. But we're coming to a close tonight. I know we want to do one more mix for the night, so let's go ahead and wrap it up and we'll get some last words. Wait. We've been getting on her all night, so let's let Amber take the lead. Team Light Skin, speak up.
Firstly, Team Light Skin would like all Team Dark Skin to apologize.
For what? For what? For what?
Apologize to us.
For being chocolate?
You're always putting us down and calling us conceited and calling our men soft. You know, it's not fair. We are strong and we are not conceited.
Okay, we do apologize. Not like us, we here, but just in general for those who do believe that, we apologize for that. Because I personally don't believe it.
Accepted.
Okay.
Of course you don't believe it because you like light browns.
No, okay. When I was younger, yes, I had a tendency to like someone that was lighter than me. But as I get older, I have a tendency to kind of switch to the other side. So me, I'm just, yeah.
Amber, why do you look so excited at the chat room right now? What did the chat room just say?
Skeet said Amber's fine as hell. I'm just saying.
Aww.
Anyways, so all right, Rita, go ahead, honey. Go get.
First of all, there should not be no team light skin, no team dark skin.
Exactly.
We are all one people. So, I mean, all jokes aside,
just team black.
Right. That's basically what we are. Whether you in the house or you in the field, you're still black on the other side. You know what I'm saying? In any which way you look at it. So I don't want advantage to take me on the inside. I'd rather be on the outside when I'm free. But I mean, at the end of the day, we are all we are all people of all different shades and color, and we should just embrace who we are. Love the skin that you're in, whether you're dark, you're light, in between, or in the middle. Just love you. Learn to embrace you. That's pretty much it. Just love yourself.
Okay, and Benson, thank you so much for joining us. Go ahead and give us your final words, honey. You don't have a message out there for all the brown skin girls you just bigged up for the past 20 minutes?
Yeah, stay chocolate.
Stay chocolate. I like that. All right, ladies and gentlemen. It's your girl, L Styles. And I think I'm going to close out, and I want to send a message. Sorry, Emily, but I do got to send a message to my team dark skin. I have to. Stop it. The rest of the world is speaking to you, so I got to speak to my people real quick. Team brown skin. So this is going specifically to brown skin women. The world has already recognized that yellow bones can be very beautiful. We know this. We can't deny there are beautiful women of all colors. Holly Berry, shout out, whatever. Okay. But I think it's time in 2015 that all of you beautiful brown-skinned women stand up and recognize, identify, and own your beauty, because there is nothing more beautiful in this world than a confident woman. And then to put brown skin on top of it, you're a killer. Winning. Ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Ladies Night. Team light skin as well.
Team light skin
as well.
Team black people. Team black people.
All right. No team. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been another episode of Ladies Night. We'll be back next week, Thursday night at 9 p.m. Stay tuned. We're going in, as we always do. Jasmine's going to take you out with the hottest mix of the night. We'll see you then. Just me, take it out.